We buy our dog presidents.
It's about to get festive with the star of The Holiday Sitter, Jonathan Bennett. And we've got the stories that define the week on People in 10. I'm Makon Jovu, bringing you everything you need to know about pop culture right now. 10 minutes are on the clock, so let's get to it with the first 5. Starting with the outpouring of tributes to Kirstie Alley, who died Monday at the age of 71 after a battle with colon cancer.
In a statement announcing her passing, Kirstie's 2 children, Shrew and Lily, called their mother incredible, fierce, and loving, and revealed that her cancer had only recently been discovered.
Many of Alley's loved ones and co-stars from her decades-long career shared in their sadness over her death.
You pull this off and you can have anything you want.
Really?
Except that.
Her former Cheers cast members paid tribute, with Kelsey Grammer telling People that he loved her.
Tim Allen, who had co-starred with Alley in the 1997 film For Richer or Poor, tweeted that Alley was a sweet soul.
And John Travolta, whom Alley previously called the greatest love of her life after they starred alongside each other in Look Who's Talking,
We shouldn't do this in front of my...
wrote that Kirstie was one of the most special relationships that he's ever had.
Moving on to the release of Netflix's new docuseries, Harry and Meghan, with the drop of Volume 1 today.
No one knows the full truth. We know the full truth.
Fans have been eagerly waiting for this documentary from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and it did not disappoint.
The Duke and Duchess are sharing their side of the story.
In the first part of the series, the couple, who now live in California with their 2 children, Archie and Lilibet, open up about their love story and how Meghan became a royal rock star before everything changed in a snap.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Harry also touched on the strict structure of the royal institution, which he calls the firm.
There's a hierarchy of the family. You know, there's leaking, but there's also planting of stories.
He also shared concerns of history repeating itself.
I had to do everything I could to protect my family.
Ahead of the documentary's premiere, the couple were honored at the 2022 Ripple of Hope Award Gala in New York City on Tuesday.
Their visit to the East Coast comes as Prince William and Princess Kate are back in the UK after visiting Boston for the Earthshot Prize Awards.
Now for a story you've been following closely on People.com. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes are on hiatus from GMA3 amid their romance scandal. On Monday, guest hosts Gio Benitez and Stephanie Ramos appeared in their place, and it's not clear when or if the co-hosts will appear on air together after photos of them getting cozy surfaced last week. A source tells People that the show decided to have a period of cooling down due to the, quote, unwanted attention around the relationship. And Gabourey Sidibe can sure keep a secret.
I'm actually married. We got married over a year ago.
Surprise! The actress revealed this week that she married Brandon Frankel last year after the pair got engaged in 2020. This says Keke Palmer had a surprise reveal of her own. She's pregnant!
5 stars, Angel, 5 stars.
The actress showed off her growing baby bump while hosting Saturday Night Live over the weekend. This will be her and her boyfriend Darius Johnson's first child. And George Clooney to the rescue. Ahead of being recognized at the Kennedy Center Honors on Saturday, the doting husband helped his wife Amal Clooney with her gown while the pair walked the red carpet.
There is a dignity to the way I do it.
Next up, the posts you've been loving this week. Before Ryan Reynolds was gushing about his family at this week's People's Choice Awards, he was getting festive. The actor posed alongside his pregnant wife, Blake Lively, and the Clauses. He confessed that Mrs. Claus was everything he'd always dreamed since he was a kid, as she smelled like cinnamon buns and sangria. But while Blake showed off her growing baby bump, she was disappointed her glitter sneakers didn't make the cut. She need not worry though, because Ryan eventually corrected his inexcusable mistake. And despite their split, Giselle Bundchen and Tom Brady are united front when it comes to their kids. The pair both celebrated their daughter Vivian Lake's 10th birthday on Monday. Giselle even commented on Tom's birthday post. This as Tom shared that the best motivation comes from their son Benjamin, who texted him to kick some butt ahead of his Monday Night Football game against the Saints, where the star quarterback threw the game-winning touchdown. And this week's People cover story, country music star Blake Shelton shares how grateful he is for getting a chance to be a coach on The Voice.
And I never really made it to the A level of country artist until I became a coach on The Voice. You know, the show did a hell of a lot more for me than I brought to the table for them at the time.
You're the type of person that I have been sitting here waiting for.
But now, after 12 years on the show, it's time for Blake to move on without any regrets.
You don't know what those are going to be until you look back one day, but I feel like my regrets would be, if I stayed on this path, that I am missing out on some more important things in life.
Like his relationship with his wife, Gwen Stefani.
It's so natural and so normal to both of us that that's the only weird thing about it, is like, how this feels like the most normal, easiest thing I've ever been a part of in my life. And I forget every day that she's Gwen Stefani.
Now let's move on to a special edition of Screen Time, brought to you by Campbell's, who are helping us serve up a side of joy this holiday season. And you know what else brings us joy? Our new Hallmark holiday movie starring one of our faves. Let's do it. I am so excited to be joined by Jonathan Bennett, whose new movie, The Holiday Sitter, comes out on December 11th on the Hallmark Channel.
Sometimes the best Christmas plans fall apart in the best possible way.
Who are you? Jason, your family's neighbor.
I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. For question number 1, you'll give me 1 answer. Question number 2, 2 answers, and so on and so forth. Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready. I'm not good at counting, but let's try. Here we go.
This movie marks Hallmark's first leading LGBTQ+ couple. Now you play Sam, a forever bachelor type who gets pulled into some last-minute babysitting / uncle duties. We have a lot of funny moments, nostalgia, even a little bit of love. I won't give anything away though. I know in real life you recently went from being a bachelor to being married. Can you give me one reason you fell in love with your now husband?
He takes such good care of me. I'm an only child and an actor, okay? Like, let's just start there. So I'm very needy. I have a lot of things I need, and he treats me so well and takes such good care of me and just makes me feel so safe. So I love that about him the most. And also he's gorgeous and has the best butt in the world.
What's the perfect date night for you two at home?
Perfect date night. We're so busy with our gay travel company, Outbound Travel, traveling all over the world and then shooting all these movies. So we travel and do a lot of things. So I think for us, a perfect date night is just like staying at home with the dog and laying on the couch and not having to do anything for once. I think that's like our dream date.
I've been such a huge fan of you since the Mean Girls era, but I know you're so busy. You have a cookbook out, you have a ton of projects that you're working on. In fact, one of the projects is hosting New Year's Eve. And I want to know, what are the 2 craziest things that you've seen as host?
Oh my gosh. Well, we saw a couple propose on New Year's Eve last year. And that was such a special moment. And the other moment that was crazy was when J-Lo performed during 2020, during the pandemic year. It was me, my husband, and I think Kelly Osbourne were like the only 3 people in Times Square for her performance because we didn't have anyone in the crowd because of the pandemic. So we were standing on a riser about 10 feet from J-Lo as she performed a full show with all of her dancers and everyone. And it was like a private concert for ourselves.
Little white lies, you sweet little white lies.
We're like, yes, queen, work.
Also, speaking of great holiday movies, Lindsay Lohan, your co-star in Mean Girls, is having quite the year. Is there any chance that you two would work together on a project? And if so, what would that project be?
First of all, Lindsay's having her glow up. I mean, she didn't need a glow up. She's just having, I don't want to even call it a comeback. She's just having a resurgence and taking over the world. I will work with Lindsay anytime. She, like, Christmas movie, anything. Let's go do it.
Really? You would do that?
You know, for me, Hallmark movies are like the quintessential way to get into the holiday spirit. And I'm curious to know from you, what are 3 things that get you into the holiday spirit?
Number 1, shoot Hallmark Channel movies for Christmas because they're the best. Number 2, we put up the old school lights. I love the C9 old school bulbs.
Here I am in front of my Christmas tree.
And then the 3rd thing is we buy our dog presents.
Speaking of Christmas, what are 4 gifts you have your eye on this season?
Apple, headphones, the AirPod headphones, the ones that go over your head. Want a pony. I would like another golden doodle. And then I would also like another golden doodle.
Hi, cutie. Oh, what's his name?
Brad.
Hi, Brad Boo. This is my first interview with a dog crashing the interview. Hi, Brad Boo. And finally, give us 5 reasons to watch The Holiday Sitter this holiday season.
The movie's hilarious. There are so many scenes and moments in this movie that will make you laugh out loud. The number 2 reason is the heart.
I wanted to get it done before Santa shows up.
The 3rd reason is it's an LGBTQ plus led rom-com.
Which you obviously already know, obviously.
I've said obviously twice.
Number 4, it's a Hallmark Channel Christmas movie. There's nothing better to do at the holidays than watch Hallmark Channel Christmas movies. And number 5, George Krissa, my co-star, and I have such a fun chemistry in this movie that I think people are going to really fall in love with that.
I'm gonna tell Jason how I feel.
Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone, The Holiday Sitter is out on December 11th on the Hallmark Channel. All right, time's up. See you back here next Thursday.